Hey there, welcome to the 30-Day Year podcast. My name is Jacqueline Conway, and I'm here with my husband, Dave. And this show is all about you and your thinking. And we want to challenge you with some interesting ideas, new concepts around success and business and entrepreneurship. And that's the whole premise of the 30-Day Year. And it's really about what would happen if you turned your annual income into your monthly income? So all the episodes revolve around that concept, and we want to just challenge your thinking, get you thinking a little bit differently about yourself and your life. And today's topic is going to be really interesting because it's actually grounded in a universal law that is 184 years old. That was first coined back then. So we're going to talk about that, the historical reference of the whole concept today. But really it's going to be, what does it take to take control of your income? What does that really mean? What does that really look like? How can you begin to own your own place in your industry, to feel confident and have the value to charge more, to be one of the top people in your field, really? And so the law of compensation is what we're talking about. So in 3 simple steps, the law of compensation is the need for what you do, your ability to do it, and the difficulty in replacing you. So that is the law, but we're going to go back further to where it all began in our first section here, which is what I'm calling the historical foundations of compensation. So it's from the work of Ralph Waldo Emerson. So he was an American poet and a philosopher. So I did a little bit of background, deeper research on him preparing for this. And he wrote this essay.
He's probably one of the most intelligent people ever to live.
What was so interesting about him is that he was like challenging the common thought back in like the 19th century.
Yeah, like 150 years ago.
Yeah. And so he was really looking at life very differently from a more natural point of view through the eyes of the laws rather than through a religious doctrine. And so he was actually a pastor, ended up leaving that profession and became like more of a philosopher and a poet and was a writer. And a lot of his work inspired even more work in this world and then beyond and beyond and beyond. And so he's a very interesting guy. And he was from Boston. Did you know that?
No.
Boston, Mass. That's where he's from.
Boston.
Don't do your terrible accent, though. I guess you can if you want.
Nah, that's all right.
Okay, you don't want to insult any of your Beantown friends? That's fair. Okay, so he wrote this essay called Compensation in 1841, opened up this whole idea of what is compensation, really. Like, I don't know if that was on the minds of people back then before he really started thinking about it.
Science has allowed so much progression in this. Like, since the introduction of the scientific theory, we've advanced so quickly because of it. So it's pretty cool to see thinking being boiled down into scientific processes.
Yes.
Because before that, there's a lot of superstition involved in thought, and religions were the primary dominator of thinking. So to have people like Ralph Waldo Emerson start bringing information into the world in a certain way has just been profound.
It is profound.
And I think it's science that has done that.
Yes, it is. Because a lot of what he talks about in that essay refers back to the universal laws.
Yep. And nature.
Yes.
Proving it through observing nature.
Yes. And he talks a lot about reciprocity and the law of cause and effect and how we give out what comes back to us. Like just this like idea of circulation. And also another reference I like to think of it is for the like nerdy accountants that might be listening is like thinking about life like your own balance sheet, right? Like the equation of the balance sheet must balance.
Yeah.
And so he's saying the same thing when it comes to compensation.
If you're interested in what we're talking about here, the first step is setting a goal. Download my free goal setting guide and get started.
And so I just want your take on the essay. We've already kind of started that, but I want to get your take on it and what meaning you feel we should derive on it.
So anyone go out there and read it. It's called The Law of Compensation by Ralph Waldo.
Actually, it's just called Compensation.
Compensation, sorry. Compensation by Ralph Waldo Emerson. And first time I read it, it was very difficult.
Okay, why?
Well, just the words. Like the way that he wrote, it's like over 150 years old.
Okay, like his language.
I had to have a dictionary with me and, ChatGPT wasn't really a thing when I first started reading it either yet. So now I would read along with that to find out the definitions of the words. But it was very difficult to read for me personally in the beginning. And the first time I was ever introduced to it was through Napoleon Hill. So Napoleon Hill says that he read that essay for 10 years. And his main mission in those 10 years was to make it so that the average person could start to understand it. And after reading Compensation for 10 years, he basically came up with this thing called cosmic habit force, which is like the accountant and the ruler of the cosmos.
Okay, interesting.
So when we think about compensation isn't as simple as like 1 + 1, because compensation is mathematics, really.
Yeah, okay. Go deeper on that. What do you mean by that?
So it's not just 1 + 1. Like, yeah, if I give you $1 now, you owe me $1, right? But if I'm a bank and I give you $1, I want increase on that $1. So if I charge you...
Because they took a risk, because you took a risk on me.
Yeah.
I might not pay it back.
But it has to be like that. Because if I give you the $1 and I give you 10 years to give me back that $1, well, with inflation and with other laws that govern economies, then that $1 would be worth 25% less or whatever inflation is.
Yes.
So compensation demands growth.
Interesting. Yeah, that's true.
This is very exciting that we're talking about this.
No, it's cool. I like your approach you're taking. It's very cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you think of compensation in the economical sense, you have to consider interest, inflation, and compounding.
Yeah.
So at the root of compensation, Ralph Waldo Emerson's essay, at the root of it is another law called the law of increasing returns, which is simply compounding.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So you put a seed in the ground,
yeah.
Let's say a wheat seed, you'll get five little heads or whatever, and then 20 seeds in there. So I think your average wheat seed, now farmers, don't quote me on this, unless I'm right, and you can say, yeah, you're right, Dave. You get one in, you'll get 120 back.
Yeah.
Right? So when it comes to compensation, you have to realize the law of increasing returns. So it's not as simple as $1 to you, 1 to me. That's balanced, right?
Yeah.
And that is a way to balance, like an accountant would balance.
Yes, the balance sheet.
Would balance a sheet like that. Everything has to match.
Yeah.
Right? But inside compensation, there's another phenomena called compounding.
Right.
And when you start to understand compensation and you start to understand the cosmic habit force behind everything, you'll start to realize that the law of increasing returns is how you start to build wealth into your life, is how you really start to, it's like the mathematics of the cosmos.
Did that awareness come through the study of that particular essay, or that came later when you were looking at the Napoleon Hill version?
No, it started with that. So I'm not like a deep studier of the compensation essay. I'm a deep studier of Napoleon Hill and going the extra mile and the law of increasing returns and Earl Nightingale and Bob Proctor and other great writers and teachers who are deriving a lot of their content from that essay.
Right.
That essay for me was just a little challenging to really go into.
Yeah.
But I study it in many other ways, but it's all getting pulled out of that essay. That essay is one of the main roots of any high quality personal development education.
Yeah, it's really quite fascinating that it's grounded back to that.
I can't
work.
believe that we're on episode 69 and we're only talking about this now.
I know, it's kind of crazy actually.
Yeah.
It has come up, but not in depth. That's the thing.
If you're not looking at life through the lens of compounding, you're missing out.
Yeah.
You can compound an idea, compound a skill, compound money. Debt is the law of compensation.
In reverse.
And the compounding effect in reverse, working against you. So it's like if you think about money, because you said earlier, like how to get control of your money.
Yeah.
So when you're in debt siphons off. So if you're a person that trades time for money, right? I
Yeah.
give you an hour, you give me $10, right?
Yep.
Which is fine.
Mhm.
And a lot of people work in that way. But if you got compounding working against you, it's siphoning off your time because you're having to take that money. It's like quietly, so's inflation.
Mhm.
Inflation's silently siphoning off your income, which is your time, because most people have traded their time for their income, for their
Mhm.
money.
Right. Right. It's interesting that you're bringing up some of those other people that have built off of the work of Emerson from 1841, because one in particular I wanted to kind of like zoom in on was Earl Nightingale's work. This is from 1961 is when he released Lead the Field. I didn't fully intend this episode to be like super historical, but I thought that it made it kind of
Well,
interesting
it's deep.
to go through the lineage of this concept, because I think it makes it even more grounded and interesting that people have been studying this and unpacking this for a very long time.
Yes, it would go like the Bible
Yeah.
to Emerson
hmm
to Napoleon Hill.
I'd
Through-
also challenge you to say like Newton as well, because like with Emerson, like he's pulling the laws, like the work of scientists
Yeah,
as well.
but it will come from the Bible primarily because it's been telling us all these different morals. Like it's telling you like to be good, or the mustard seed, right? Or Jesus multiplying the fish and the bread.
Yeah.
Like it'll go Bible. And yeah, if there's other people like Newton, that's cool. So if you take Bible, science, Emerson, Napoleon Hill, Earl Nightingale,
hmm
30-day year podcast.
Yeah, there you go. So back to Earl. So he took this concept, which also was developed by Napoleon Hill, and he formulated into the law of compensation, which I already kind of dropped, but I want to get into that now, is the need for what you do, your ability to do it, and the difficulty in replacing you. And I feel like this is like the epicenter of today's episode, like these three concepts. I think it like this is what it's all about here. And so I just want you to walk us through those three principles and how we should approach them.
Yeah. Well, first you want to approach them to improve your life if you're into that,
Yeah.
right? So there's the three concepts: is the need for what you do, your ability to do it, and the difficulty there is in replacing you. You only have to focus on one of the three. Like really.
At a time.
No, just one of the
just
three.
one. Oh,
yeah,
okay. I
just
see
one
what
of
you
the
mean.
three.
Yep.
So number one is the need for what you do.
Right. You can't really work on that.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what does he mean by that? What he means is, where is there disorder in someone's life?
Yeah. The demand, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
The demand. So it's like there's disorder here. Okay. I'm a new lawyer and I want to look good, but I don't know how to dress. So I'm going to go get an image consultant.
Mhm.
Right. So it's like out of every disorder or problem, there's a solution. So a lot of business people call it problem and solution.
Yep.
I call it disorder and order.
Yeah.
So you don't really you haven't really created that disorder.
No.
It's there.
It's there.
You're not contributing to the disorder in that economy. That economy is just there for you.
Yeah.
So every job, every service has one purpose. People aren't fully aware of this. Has one purpose: to create order. I have a desire.
Yeah.
Now I have a problem because I have a desire. So I'm lacking something. I need to create order in that area. The second is your ability to do it. To do what? To create order where there's disorder.
So,
Go ahead.
okay, wait a second. So you're saying, so our goal is to create order where there's disorder, but we have to take disorder and create order in ourselves first.
You'll have to say that again.
Okay, you said our job as like business owners is to take disorder and create order for people.
Yes.
But in order to do that properly, we have to create order in ourselves from
Yes.
disorder first.
It's insane.
That's really funny.
It's super good. It's a never-ending dance. It's like the yin and the yang.
You could make like a tongue twister out of that concept somehow. We'll have to break
Yeah,
that
a
out.
brain bender.
Yeah.
Or breaker.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the first part is disorder.
Yes.
Okay. The second is order. So it's like, well, what is my ability to do it? My
Mhm.
ability is to create order where there's disorder. Now, I always joke around that I deserve like the Purple Heart or something,
Okay.
because I've chosen to create order in the craziest place on the planet,
Mm.
the human mind.
Yeah.
There's a lot of disorder in there.
Right.
A lot of disorder. So I've chosen to create order in that area. And that's what you want to do. So it's like if you're in business and you want to benefit from the law of compensation, the disorder is already there. There's an economy and a market for what you do. The question is, how good have you become, or has your organization become at creating order where there's disorder? So order gets orders. Simple as that.
Right. I
Okay?
didn't know you got that from the law of compensation.
Mhm.
Makes sense though.
Okay.
Yeah.
The third is the difficulty there is in replacing you. You don't have to concern yourself about that if you have mastered creating order, because if you are master creating order, you become very difficult to replace.
Mm-hmm.
So really all you have to focus on is number 2.
1 and 2 are kind of similar. They're linked, right? Like it's all linked. But
Yeah,
because
problem
if you're
service.
really, really, really good at your ability to deliver, then you automatically will be difficult to replace.
You will automatically be compensated.
Yeah, and you'll be compensated.
You'll be
Yeah.
compensated.
Mhm.
So this is why some people make huge bucks, because they're harder to replace.
Yeah.
Take a surgeon that makes $1 million a year.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how long did it take for that surgeon to get themselves to that place? Right?
Decades.
It's low barrier to entry professions usually have lower incomes, right?
Mhm.
So a surgeon, they're difficult to replace.
Yes.
They're not impossible to replace.
Yeah.
Difficult to replace,
Yeah.
because no one is impossible to replace.
Right. It's just
Right?
time.
Yeah. It's like the Catholic Church had a pope die last year.
Mhm.
He's been replaced,
He has.
right?
There's a new one.
That's right.
Mhm.
So did he do a good job? I don't know. You'll have to ask some of them. But someone else has to step in and fill that. So no
Yeah.
one is impossible to replace, but you want to make yourself difficult to replace
Yeah. Big shoes to fill.
by creating order.
By creating order. How does one begin to create order?
You want to identify where there is the disorder.
Mhm.
So if you were to look at the first phase of the first step of it,
Mhm.
it's like, well, where is my client really suffering?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are they really suffering with? So our business is kind of interesting because we deal with a thing called a paradigm. And most people are completely oblivious to this paradigm. We all want more, but we don't know why we're not getting it. And some of us are actively searching. But if you don't discover that it is your paradigm that is controlling your life and producing your results, then you'll be searching in the wrong place till the day you die.
Yeah.
So you have to understand what is the real cause of that disorder. And then you just focus on mastering creating order there. That's what I do, and that's what I've done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I've been compensated
Right.
for that.
Yeah. Makes sense. What do you think it is about your personality or who you are that draws you to that specifically? Like, I want to help create order in someone's mind. What do you think drew you to that?
Oh, I don't know.
Just
Like, I don't want to
intuitively was drawn to it.
we're probably all drawn to something. Like,
Yeah, we are.
Like,
With
I don't wanna-
callings, maybe?
Yeah, like I don't want, like, a cleaner helps create order in your house. I don't
Yeah.
want to be a cleaner,
No.
right? Every work is noble work
Mhm.
in how you do it,
Mhm.
right? I don't know. I'm born that way, I guess.
You
I
were
don't
called
know.
for it.
Yeah. I think we all have some form of a destiny, or we all have aptitudes that we enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
And this just happened to be one of mine. Thank God I found it,
Yeah.
because when I was a carpenter,
unique.
yeah, it's different. It's very weird when people ask me, like, what do you do for work? It's kind of weird. I just say I'm a mindset coach now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just what I say. But no one understands what that is. It was easier when I told them I was a carpenter,
Yeah.
because that would make an image in someone's mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
this
Easy
is-
to understand.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. This is interesting because I feel that there's a lot of people, like you can see content online that's kind of like, charge what you're worth, know your worth, all that kind of stuff, right? You know?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of truth to that.
There can be.
You know, I've said that to you, know your worth, right?
Yeah, if you're actually
your
worth
worth.
more.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay, so how does this framework cut through that just kind of like charge what you're worth kind of messaging that you may hear sometimes, you know? I think this is like really a call to us to step up to become more valuable, to be able to deliver more value to people rather than just sort of saying like, I'm a human being that lives and breathes. I should earn this much money. It's kind of like developing the value through these 3 functions. I think it kind of grounds us down to that.
Yes. Well, it's a law, right?
Yeah.
So that means it's an absolute. Can't be broke. And if it is broke temporarily for a period of time, then the law of compensation will return what Earl Nightingale would call the unfailing boomerang, and then you get hit. So I personally find that the safest way to navigate this content and this information is to just dedicate your life to mastering the service of other people. Just because you say that you're good at something, and maybe you are and maybe you are not, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Right? If you are good, so there's the people that are good at what they do, and they are not charging their worth. Those people, if they made that switch, they would start to receive that. Then there's other people that aren't good at what they do.
Right.
Right? And they're trying to, they think that they're
and they're
worth
charging
it.
top dollar.
Yeah, they're attempting to. They won't
Right.
receive it. And if they do once or twice, they won't receive it perpetually because they'll fail in creating the order.
Yeah.
In time, right? So it always balances out. So what we want to understand is that every human being, as a human being, is the same value of any other human being. Okay?
Yes.
Right? In
Yes.
the Creator's eyes, we are all the Creator's children. We all deserve dignity.
Yes.
Okay? Every human being is the same in that regards. But every human being is not the same in how much value they contribute
Yes.
to society.
And it's up to us to develop that.
Yes.
That's what
100%
that's
up
what
to
the
you.
law of compensation is challenging people with, is
You
that
cannot delegate that.
if you want to, just going back to, I'm going to transcend myself to 1841 when Ralph wrote this. If I'm like a blacksmith, I think they were still rolling back then, right?
Probably.
I should really know. I should have known. But if I want to ascend and become a guy that owns multiple blacksmith shops, and I'm going to have to really develop myself. The skills required are going to be different. So he's really calling people forward. If you want to earn more, if you want to have more money, if you want to be compensated more greatly, you have to develop yourself.
Yes, right.
It's basically the whole grounding of personal development.
It's so simple.
I would say that the law of compensation arguably could be the whole root of just personal development.
Jack, I said that.
Did you say that?
Yes.
You did not. Did you?
Yes, I did.
Oh, dang.
I
I
said
guess I just had to get there myself. I couldn't hear it said to me.
Inequality.
Oh, yes, you did say that. I guess it just landed
Personal
differently in my head just a second ago.
You're an autodidact. You're teaching yourself over there now. So I say things and then you say, oh my God, it's a great idea. It's I said that. So the foundation of any high quality personal development is founded on this because it's a law.
It's the whole point of developing the person would be for this whole idea.
In our industry, you sent me a funny sort of person making fun of our industry.
Yes. Oh God, it's so funny.
And it's so true.
It's so true.
So true.
Yeah, I can't remember the name. She's a comedian and she recorded this reel.
Yeah, it's true.
And she's just talking nonsense. And it was
most of it is nonsense.
It was absolutely hilarious because sometimes I find in modern world, kind of thought leadership, they just kind of talk in these opposites all the time. So it's kind of it's not about who you are, it's who you think you're not. And then when you act from there, then that's when the success doesn't come. And then what? 10x? For sure, but not until the kids what? And you're what's happening? What's happening? I don't know what I'm supposed to be learning.
Boring.
It's so confusing.
Yeah, it's insane.
Confused mind says no.
Right.
So it's just so funny.
Amazing. Well, that's because this industry is a very low barrier to entry. Right?
Yes.
Very low, right? You got a TikTok account, you're in.
Yeah.
So no human being is better than another human being in the eyes of as human beings.
Yeah.
But we do all contribute different levels of value to society. And then we will be compensated directly because of that. That's very important to understand.
It is.
I had a lady that I did a call with maybe 6 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And this lady, I said, what's your goal? I was in a coaching call with her. And she said that her goal was to speak on stages, like arena levels, like massive, fill arenas.
Yeah, like Tony Robbins level.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And I asked her, I was and what are you going to talk on? I was well, mindset, right?
Okay.
I think she just maybe read a mindset book the night before, and that's what she's going to do. So I was okay. I was well, have you done a talk yet?
Yeah.
And she said, no. I said, oh, okay. I was like, well, in my mind, I'm thinking, well, we better get you out there doing a talk, you know?
Sure.
So I was like, well, do you have a local community center or some place that you could go and deliver a talk on mindset? And she said, no, I'm not doing that.
Because
And
I'm the stadium woman.
yeah, she said,
Okay.
I'm not doing that. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't know. Well, that's beneath me. She said, that's not my goal.
It's not my goal.
It's not my goal. And she's like, my goal is to fill arenas. And I'm like trying to get my head around this. I'm like, okay, I think I'm talking to a delusional person.
It's Delulu now. That's the technical term.
Okay, Delulu. So I think I'm talking to a Delulu. And I said, well, how will people know who you are?
Right.
If you've never done a talk.
Right. Yes, for sure.
Right? It's like, oh, see that guy standing over there by that tree? He's the greatest basketball player in the world. Okay. Has he ever played basketball before? No. He's not going to, he's
crazy. It's crazy.
This is what it is, Jack. The stuff I've heard is insane. It's like, see that guy standing over there by the tree? That guy, he's the greatest basketball player in the world. Okay. What does he shoot? Well, we don't know. He's never actually held a basketball in his life. He's waiting until he's in the NBA to start.
Right. Yes.
Because
that's how it works.
Yeah. So then I told her, I was like, okay, well, this is a very frustrating conversation. I was like,
did you say that to her?
In my mind.
Oh, okay.
But I did say this to her. I don't know how to help you achieve your goal by helping no one and improving nothing.
Right.
I don't know how to do that. But I said, but I'll tell you what. If you find someone that can teach you how to help no one and improve nothing
and get
everything, you give me their number because I will hire them too. If you find a person...
Breaks the law, Dave. Can't be done.
If you find a person that can somehow suspend the law compensation...
Yeah.
I'll hire them too.
Can't be done.
I will give them any amount. And this is why people buy lotto tickets.
Because it's just so incredible to imagine. To just think that you could get millions of dollars and just be given to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you want to be compensated by putting in as little as you can and get it as much back as you can.
Right.
Would you like to earn more cash in your business? I'd like to help you with my free 21-day Money Momentum Challenge. We're going to rewire your mind, turn you into a money magnet, and start to increase your income. Click the link below and get started.
I want to talk about a phrase you've said many a time. I just want to go into that a little bit, which is you don't get paid from people, you get paid through them. And I think that's a very interesting concept. So I just want you to walk us through what that means and kind of where it originated.
Well, I first heard it from Bob Proctor.
Mm-hmm.
It is an extremely deep concept.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd have to have some pretty significant understanding to really grasp it and to live into it. So what it's saying, you don't get paid from people, you get paid through them.
Mm-hmm.
It's saying that every human being on the planet is a distribution center of an infinite supply of energy. So when you serve a human being, I know it appears like you're serving the human being, but what you're really doing is you're serving the energy behind them. So you stop doing business with people and you start doing business with an infinite supply.
Mm.
So if I serve you, I don't have to receive directly from you.
Mm-hmm.
There's a really subtle or refined attitude of mind that will make the law of increasing returns work in your benefit. If you're trying to, like, you know, in the Bible says, don't let your left hand know what your right hand is doing.
Mm-hmm.
If you're trying to do that where you're like trading,
Mm-hmm.
then it won't work. You have to give in a detached way. Mm-hmm. So it's like, I know that if I serve you today to the best of my ability, and you may not compensate me directly, I need not get upset about that. Because if I keep the habit of giving people a 10 out of 10 at all times, regardless, then I just have to wait until someone actually will compensate. So the power will compensate through me. It's a pure act of faith. with understanding.
Yeah, it makes sense. It really, the word you said was detach, right? So you're detached from the outcome from like singular conversations. But what you're aware of is that you're giving with that sense. Like you're giving back to someone knowing that it may come this way, but it may not. It'll come some way.
Yes. Yeah, it's coming.
It's coming.
It's coming.
Yeah.
But so you have some people that are great givers, but they're not awesome at receiving. Their dial of receiving is messed up. So you have to be circulating. You have to be circulating that good.
Talk to me about that. Well, that receiving is just not working properly. What does that look like? What does that really mean? I think that's a big one.
So let's say a person's going to go for a 30-day year, right? So let's say they earn $10,000 a month.
Yeah.
They want to go to $120,000 a month.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a cool idea. But don't underestimate that you have been programmed to only receive at the 10 grand.
Yeah.
Right. So you have to get comfortable. You have to get comfortable circulating 120 grand worth of service and order creation a month.
Yeah.
So you have to build a machine or a person and then a business that does that.
Yeah.
And then you have to get comfortable receiving at that level. So I had a client that they were doing $1 million a year and they wanted to go to 12 million a year. So $1 million in a month. And one of the scariest things that happens to people that I've noticed that actually start to produce results through this philosophy, they actually start to get really afraid when the time comes for them to step in and actually start to get compensated back for that work. So this guy had to sign off on like a bond for $6 million and he was just terrified. He was terrified, to sign off because it was kind of risky, but then to receive the compensation for that.
Yeah.
So it's so amazing because, you think that you want that idea and it is a good idea to 12x, but to actually circulate that back, a lot of people, they lose their mind at that point.
So do you think it's like the responsibility that comes along with it that's maybe intimidating?
Yeah, and then don't underestimate that your self-worth and your value is low. Is low. Like even people that do great work, their self-worth and what they are comfortable receiving is off. They could change their income but like that if they just change the receiving dial, right? So a lot of personal development organizations, they're breaking the law the other way. They're telling people, like you were saying earlier, know your worth. Yeah, but you're not actually releasing that.
Right.
So there's some people that are actually releasing high quality,
so when they hear that, they might shoot quickly. They might grow quickly because they've been in a deficit for a long time. Yeah.
That's right. So like with you and I, when I was going to change our pricing from 5 grand to 10 grand, I was terrified to do it. And then you were the one that said to me, like, know your worth. Yeah,
you're a good coach.
Yeah. You're helping people. Like you're worth way more than that, right? The value that you're bringing.
Yeah.
Like we started having people 12x in their income. Like what's that worth?
It's worth something.
Yeah. Having people that earn $100,000 a year going to over $1 million a year in the coaching.
Right.
And here I am afraid to increase my prices to 10 grand.
Right.
That's self-worth problem.
Right.
Right. So once I said it, the money just boom, all the 10,000 started flowing in.
You're giving me like an insight, like with the self-worth picture or concept is that like basically the self-worth is kind of where your identity just hasn't caught up to your skills yet.
I've seen people that are world class.
Yeah.
And their self-worth is not receiving the compensation that they could be. World class.
Yeah.
And I've seen them even sabotage where they were being accurately compensated. And then because of their own paradigm, their own receiving mechanism, not allowing that circulation, that they go back to the old way.
Well, the World Cup is coming up, and you always send me these examples of soccer players, these young guys that get signed for multi-million-dollar contracts and just completely implode. Yeah. And like their lives just, their paradigm swallows them up.
There's a business there. It's like
to help those guys.
Yeah, help those, like help the clubs and the team organizations manage that in those players.
Right, because they're good players, but their paradigm and where they come from just destroys that whole trajectory for them. Yeah, interesting. Okay, I want to talk about generosity. So generosity is a core value at Conway. It's one of our something that we lean into a lot. It's part of our growth strategy to be generous people. And you always talk about giving to a point that is uncomfortable. So uncomfortable generosity. And that is a moment when you really challenge your paradigm and your programming and your belief system, because you're not just going to give what you're used to giving. You're going to like triple it, quadruple it, 10x it. And that gets really scary. And it's not just like a nice thing to do anymore. It's actually like asking you to lean into something bigger than yourself and to be like, is this real? Is if I give beyond what I think I should, what I think I'm programmed to give, like what could happen? And so I just wanted you to explain that whole philosophy to us.
With generosity?
Yeah.
So it sounds like, you're talking about the law of compensation, but you're starting to go a lot into just the concept of circulation.
Yeah.
Right? So most people are decent givers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Because we're human and we're decent. Our society demands it.
Yeah.
We're decent givers. And some of us are great givers or good givers.
Mm-hmm.
That would not mean that you're generous, though. Because generosity is to give beyond what's expected.
Mm-hmm.
Now, someone else might say, wow, you gave me that. And then you tip the bill at a restaurant, and then the server comes and they're crying and they're like, oh my, like, I can't believe you did that. It's like, oh, that's cool. But that might not have made you uncomfortable. Okay.
Mm.
Right. So it's like, okay, yeah, the receiver didn't expect that, and that's good. But at the same time, what's your expectations? So are you giving beyond your own expectations? And that is where the magic happens. If you want to be compensated at a certain level, you must release first on that level. You cannot get heat from a fire until you put in the wood. So you have to give first.
Because you told us to work on our ability to do it. That is the one we have the control over, right? We identify a demand or a need or a disorder. And then it's our job to develop the ability to serve that need and that demand, right?
Yeah.
And create the order.
Yeah.
So in order to do that at an exceptional level, and I think that if someone is here considering going for a 30-day year, like you're going to have to become exceptional to multiply your results.
Yeah, you got to become pretty unique.
You got to become very unique. You got to like break away from the pack in such a big way. And I think this whole concept of uncomfortable generosity is important because we're talking about stretching yourself of what you're capable of. Are you willing to become this like 3.0 version of yourself to really improve your ability to serve others? And it aligns really with that idea of going the extra mile as well. It's another lead the field concept, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
And so are you willing to go the extra mile to really develop your ability to shine, to become worthy or to, I don't want to say worthy, to be delivering the value that warrants the compensation you actually want?
Yeah.
Because becoming a 30-day year, like a winner, achiever, it's not it's hardcore. Like it's a big demand. To multiply yourself in any way requires such a deviation from how you currently do things.
Think of it like this. Like, let's say you're having a party and you're comfortable hosting 5 people. So you've got you got the drinks. And you've got the steaks.
Yeah.
So you've got five steaks. You've got, I don't know, 2 beers for each person. So you got you got a dozen beer, right?
I'm imagining like baked potato for some reason and like T-bone steaks.
Yeah. And you're comfortable there. You're comfortable there.
Sure.
Right? Mm-hmm. And you have them over. Those 5 people love the party. But then you're like, you know what? I want to host 100 people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I want to host them. So now you got to go from not just like a dozen beers or 10 beers, you got to go to 100 or 200.
I'd say
if there's 2 each.
250 just in case.
250,
because some guys are going to go take them down.
That's right. Some will have none, some will have them all. Okay, so you're going to have to double up there. You're going to go up to 200.
Yeah.
Right? Then you're going to have to go to 200 or 100 steaks.
Yeah.
So everything's going to 20x.
Yeah.
Right? So now when you go shopping, you're like, whoa. Like,
well, it's a different approach entirely.
But let's just keep it to the same thing, right? It's like, whoa, I have to spend like $500 instead of instead of $25,
Yeah.
right? Whoa, I have to on beer. Whoa, I've got to spend $700 on steaks instead of $35, right?
Yeah.
So it's like that can create anxiety
Yeah.
in a person.
Yeah.
And then the systems, will my systems work? So people just stay comfortable in their own awareness.
Mm-hmm.
If you stay comfortable in your own awareness, now you're doing it, then understand that you will never be compensated for having the 100-person party because you are not willing to change. All growth happens outside of the comfort zone.
Yeah.
So if you want to have the compensation of a 100-person party with 100 thank you letters or cards or whatever,
Yeah.
versus 5,
Right. Pretty sure you're just describing why lots of weddings stress people out.
well, I feel sorry. Like, parents out there, I'm telling you, parents out there, make sure you have enough money to pay for your kid's wedding. Because
At whatever level that
like when you're young, you got no money. And then you're
Yeah.
seeing these bills. These are huge bills. I'll never
Yeah, it's
forget it.
intimidating.
It's like, what? $40,000 or
Oh, yeah, it's intimidating
$80,000? It's
for
like,
a wedding.
what?
Yeah.
Right? You start to understand why people, do it just
Elope.
at like a elope, or they do it at a, what's that, like a justice of the
Yes,
court,
they
or
go down to the courthouse.
whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So compensation's big. So you have to release on the level you desire to receive. And first you have to get comfortable releasing at that level, and then you have to get comfortable receiving at that level.
Yes. Yeah, I like that. The reciprocity, like being able
Yeah.
to release and receive
It's
at the
all a
same
level.
time. Yeah.
Mhm.
But like what you said, releasing at the level you want to receive at. So, and I would think that you're always going to be going for the next thing. Meaning that you don't just get to the first 30-day year and that's it. Like you're going to want to go again. You're going to want to like multiply again. So then the releasing of energy is going to have to go beyond again. And you
Yeah.
might always be in like a compensation deficit if you're always over giving. Do you know what I mean? Because you're always like striving to go beyond.
But if you're you can be, but as long as your receiving's dialed in, then that's where it gets into faith. But I don't think we should go into that direction.
No.
This one, or else we'll be here all another hour.
I think so. It could take a while.
Mhm.
Okay, so I just wanted to give everybody like an everyday action item, how to begin to approach this law in their everyday life. How do we begin to live this out?
Build the person that builds the business. What is the purpose of a business? So a lot of people start businesses to get. That's not the purpose of a business. The purpose of a business is to serve. The purpose of a business is to create order in another human being's life. Once you master that, the receiving will be automatic. The compensation will flow in as long as you're comfortable receiving it. So first is build the person that builds the business, because you are behind your business. So first thing you got to do is get order in your own mind. Essential. We've all had bosses that are very chaotic people.
I've been actually pretty lucky in
Have
that
you
way.
been?
I have been.
Okay, well, I've had some wild people.
Okay. I've had some really good ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
But I get what you're saying.
You must have had better worked with better people than me.
Workaholics, but definitely orderly.
I've had some very wild people that I've worked for, but I was in construction. So.
Different industries.
Yeah. So first is master order in the mind. Okay. Master order in the mind, your own mind. And the second is master order. Sit and think, how can I create better order in my client's life?
Mm. Yep.
Those two things will help you do number one, the need for what you do. Where is there a problem or disorder? Number two, master creating order. So first you got to get your own self together, and then you can help other people get themselves together.
I love it. Another thing I'd say with the creating order in your own mind is just download our 30-day year goal setting guide as a place to start. Aligning yourself to what it is that you want to achieve and getting the goal on paper really, really helps.
Yeah.
And then also visualization. There we go. Okay. I love it.
I do too.
Thanks for listening to the 30-Day Year podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, please leave us a 5-star review and share with your friends and family and help us get this message out. See you next time.